Good morning, 9th class. Today we will discuss next chapter of geography, natural vegetation and wildlife. I know that this chapter is very much familiar to you people because in earlier classes we have read this topic. So here we'll see the same topic in a broad manner, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. So as we know that natural vegetation is that which grow itself, means without the interference of human being. So when we go to the text definition, it means definition says the vegetation grows by nature, or we can say by its own. It grows its own. It is known as the virgin vegetation. Virgin vegetation, the vegetation which grow at its specific place or the native region. Now when we talk about wildlife, so it is the animal, bird, insect which live in the nature, and it is the vast we know that India is the vast country, and as for sure will we also have the vast biodiversity. So we know that India is having 12th rank in the world's most mega diverse country in the world. So now when we categorize the flora and fauna and the species which found in India, so let's see what is the percentage and number of the species we have in India. Now here you can see number of species like 47,000 plant species, that is 10th in the world and 4th in the Asia or in Asia. Then 15,000, then flowering plant, 6% of the world's flowering plants, 89,000 animal species, 1200 bird species, 13% of the world's total bird, 2500 that is fish species, 12% of the world total stock. Now 5 to 6% of amphibians, reptiles and mammals are found in the country. Now when we talk about the virgin vegetation, as I told you, so means is that it is without the human aid or assistance, has been left undisturbed by humans for a long period of time, that is called virgin vegetation. Now another topic when we discuss about the flora and fauna. So flora and fauna means flora, we know that it denotes the plants, and fauna its animal. Now here are the some factors which are responsible for huge diversity in flora and fauna. They are relief, land and soil. We'll see them. Relief means the topography of land, that is land. In that particular topic we'll discuss the two subtopics, they are land and soil. So nature of the land influences the type of vegetation, means which kind of land we have, same kind of vegetation we will have. Means when we move from tropical to polar region, we find great variation in the vegetation. Like when we are on equator, you know that equatorial type of vegetation we find, and in your previous classes we read the types of forest. Here we also discuss, but basically we must know that like on equator, when we move to subtropical region like Tropic of Cancer, then the temperate zone, then the polar region, we find the variation in the vegetation, and same in the wildlife. So fertile level land is generally divided to agriculture. Undulating or rough terrain are the areas where grassland and woodlands develop and give shelter to the variety to wildlife. So all these factors we will discuss when we'll taking the topic of types of forest, but till here we must know what kind of relief we have, the same of vegetation we will find. Now soil, when we talk about soil, we know that to the riverine region and the mountains or the polar region, we get different kind of soil. In India even we have variety of soils. So different type of soils provide basis for different types of vegetation. When we talk about sandy desert soil, it supports only cactus and thorny bushes. When we talk about the wet and marshy soil and deltaic soil, it supports mangrove, deltaic forest vegetation. Then like Sundarban we have in our country, and when we talk about the deltas, which are in the eastern side, like when we see in our country, like here, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Mahanadi, all these rivers are making delta at their mouth in eastern part of India. So here we get some mangrove forest or deltaic forest, so vegetation is different. And in Sundarban, when we call them Sundari trees. Now the hill slope, when we talk about some depth of the soil, have coniferous forest. Now if you see the picture of this forest, so you can make the difference between, like when we are on the plain region or the not in mountains. So generally the trees are like this, means they have the spread, means the vast spread kind of trees like this. When we talk about the mountainous region, the stamp is longer one simultaneously, the tree will be like that. And when we talk about the coniferous forest, so these trees will be like conical trees, so we call them coniferous trees. Now here, till here we knew about the soil. And when we talk about another factor, that is climate. When we talk about climate, so in climate two subtopics we discussed, that is temperature and photoperiod. Temperature, we know that it decreases again when we move polarwards, when from equator to polar region, whether it is north and south, so it is, the temperature is decreasing, means when we go to the polar region, temperature always decreases. And when we talk about the photoperiod, means sunlight means, like here this is earth, and when we say that the sun vertical rays are falling on equator, tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, the polar region. So here you'll see the rays are becoming slanting, so that the sun rays are lesser in the polar region, and same the photoperiod is lesser there, and the days are shorter, nights are longer. So this particular topic we have discussed in the previous chapter. Here we are talking about the photoperiod. So means sunlight, obviously the region which are on equator till tropic to Cancer and tropic to tropic of Capricorn. In these regions we get the photoperiod longer than other part of the world's or earth area. Now here when we talk about temperature, so temperature, the character and extent of vegetation are mainly determined the temperature along with humidity in the air, precipitation and soil. On the slopes of Himalayas, hills, peninsula above the height of 915 meters fall the temperature effects. Means when we go higher from sea to land, when we go higher, means suppose this is sea, and when we talking about India landmass, we know that it is 30-meter high than the sea. So we know that this is the distance, the 915 meters on, we know that the temperature start falling. So changes from the tropical to subtropical temperature. Alpine vegetation means from tropical, like from equator, from high temperature till the alpine vegetation, where generally vegetation abolishes, only we get the grassland, or the trees we get the stern one, means the height of the trees are not more. So this is because of the temperature. Now photoperiod, when we talk about the variation of the duration of light, different places is due to the differences in the latitude, altitude, season and duration of the day. So altitude, latitude, these all factors we have discussed in climate. You must understand latitudinally when we are discussing, so means the temperature, and altitudinally when we are discussing, when we go higher to the height, means decrease in the temperature. So due to the longer duration of sunlight, trees grow faster. As you see in the summer season, means all around us we get greenery. Why? Because the land gets accordingly all the factor which attracted, or which are the main topic we discussed in climate. So means that particular time the faster the vegetation grow. Now precipitation means the rainfall. All these things beautifully we read in the previous chapter. So we know that India is having the main characteristics of advanced monsoon and rotating monsoon. Means throughout the year somehow we get rainfall in each part of our country, except when we talk about desert of Rajasthan. So here because rainfall is in good quantity we get, so that's why we have lots of greenery. Areas of heavy rainfall have more dense vegetation compared to other rainfall. So types of rainfall we will discuss here even with the main topic of forest. So today we discussed all these factors which affect the natural vegetation and wildlife, especially flora we had discussed. So next topic we'll be discussing the importance of forest for the human being. So I stop this video here. Take revision, see it properly. Thank you. Have a nice day.